Hello friends, welcome back to Smriti Notes for Biotechnology. In today's video, we will learn about polysaccharides and oligosaccharides. So let's start with polysaccharides. They have high molecular weight which can yield many monosaccharides molecules on hydrolysis. They are found in structure of plants that are called as cellulose. They are the storage for monosaccharides. Large number of monosaccharides units are joined together by glycosidic linkage. They mainly act as food storage. Now let's have a look at the examples. The very first one is starch, that is of two types in animals and plant. In animals in the form of glycogen and in plants in the form of amylase and in plants in the form of amylopectin. So let's see the difference between amylose and amylopectin. Amylose is water soluble whereas amylopectin is insoluble. I have mentioned four points for each. You can just go through them and use them. Now the next one is glycogen, which is found in animals, also called as animal starch. It is similar to amylopectin and is more branched. It is present in liver, muscles and brain. Glycogen is found in yeast and fungi. Another example of polysaccharide is cellulose. It occurs exclusively in plants. It gives plants their structure in their cell wall. They are insoluble. Cellulose differs from starch and glycogen because the glucose unit forms 2D structure with hydrogen bond holding together, and this gives the molecule a stability. Cellulose fiber is essential in diet because it helps exercise the digestive tract and keeps it clean and healthy. Now let's have a look between starch and cellulose. Starch is in the form of polysaccharide, whereas cellulose is the structural polysaccharide. Starch is used to store energy in plants and is digested, whereas cellulose cannot be digested by humans. Starch is alpha D glucose and cellulose is beta D glucose. We often get confused between reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar. So I've mentioned here all the carbohydrates which reduce Fehling solution and Tollens reagent are called as reducing sugars. All monosaccharides are reducing sugar. In disaccharides, if the reducing group of monosaccharide, that is aldehydic or ketonic groups, are bonded, they are called as non-reducing. Example is sucrose. Now next type is oligosaccharides. Carbohydrates that yield 2 to 10 monosaccharides unit on hydrolysis. They are further classified as di, tri or tetra depending on the number of monosaccharides they provide on hydrolysis. In the next video, we will learn in detail about disaccharides, that is maltose, sucrose and lactose. A very common example of oligosaccharide is raffinose. They are trisaccharides of galactose, glucose and fructose. They are found in beans, cabbage and sprouts. It can be hydrolyzed to D-galactose and sucrose by enzyme alpha-galactosidase. Now the next one is sugar derivatives or artificial sweeteners. They are used to reduce a person's caloric intake. They work in two ways. Your body will not be able to metabolize the molecule even though it can taste it. They are much sweeteners. It is about 550 times as sweet as canned sugar. They are great value to diabetic person. Some examples which are used as artificial sweeteners are aspartame, that is successfully and widely used as artificial sweetener. So in this video we learned about polysaccharides, oligosaccharides and about artificial sweeteners. If you find these videos useful, then do like, share and subscribe. And if you have any doubt, then do comment and let me know. Thank you.